Coach, that this movement by the younger generation is inspiring their parents to also get involved.
But I love the question. You know, it's interesting because when the movement was unproven here in Washington, you know, last year when we were having this conversation, you know, we didn't have the data. A year later, there was a group called Mission Measurement that was hired that was tracking the students this past year through Washington, all their amazing actions. So they can tell you, for example, that 68% of students in the program feel they're more likely to finish high school. They can tell you that 100%, literally every school administrator feels that they view their youth in a more positive way, the community views them in a more positive way. They can tell you all these great stats. One of the most interesting stats is young people who went back home to have a conversation with their family. And I don't remember exactly the number, but it is over 80% who went home and said, let me tell you about what we're doing in our school. Let me tell you about our service action. Let me tell you about what we did. Let me tell you what's going on. And we know that when youth go to adults and say, flip off that light switch, save the environment, and youth talk about recycling, and youth talk about volunteering, that trickle-up effect is phenomenal. You know, as a dad, I know as a coach, I don't know if you want to speak to that, you know, the power of kids to convince adults to do things.
Well, we could even get Tony activated.
I love it, that would be...
Tony, he's even becoming a little more socially conscious.
Yeah.
We can get Tony. We can get him back.
That's a good point.
How do you motivate the kids, Coach? You just won the biggest prize this year, and how can you take that and help motivate kids to action?
Well, by just continuing to share the story. By allowing our guys to get engaged, by continuing to reach out to the community and bring them to be involved with the Seahawks, we do have that chance. This is a whole different level. This is actually putting kids into action, and not just locally. And and they spread across the world. This is such a tremendous opportunity for us that we'll just continue to just spread the message and stand for the message and act out the message of doing the good work. So there's so many ways that we touch and connect. So we're hoping that we'll just continue to grow, and we would like to illustrate what it is to be active, and illustrate what it is to care, and illustrate what it is to help somebody have a better way. And so we'll continue to do that in every way that we can.
Mark, I wanted to ask you, and pardon if this is already asked because I came in a little bit late, but what's the accountability piece? Some of the kids just make pledges and commitments to do things and want to make sure that there's a commitment to follow through.
Yeah, absolutely, and I did run through some of these numbers, but I appreciate you asking because I'd love to say them again, because this is the most important part of the event. 130,000 students this academic term were touched through the program. So those are the ones who rolled up their sleeves, volunteered, helped out their community. Now they submit their actions to their teachers as the verifying effect. That's how they get their tickets. So about 1 in 10 who pledge their actions, who are part of the program, get their tickets to come. And that's the 15,000 that you see here who have gone through that fulfillment. Now more have done their actions, but we literally max out in space. So some of the quick stats, I ran them, but I love them so much, they're so important. 26 local hospitals they supported, 72 different out of the cold or community shelters they supported, 174 different food banks they supported, 250 different local organizations they supported their actions here in the state of Washington to earn their way in. So the impact by these students is phenomenal, but we track not only the hours they log, the dollars they raise, we look at their self-identity, their leadership, their personal view of their willingness to get involved in the community.
Coach Caroll, I just wanted to know, why are you so passionate about this organization? You could help so many, you could do whatever you wanted. Why are you passionate about We Day and We Act?
I think because of the ability of this organization to scale to so many kids and reach so many. Sometimes you can work with a boys and girls group and you're confined somewhat. This is so wide open with so much freedom involved for kids to do what they feel is right to do. I just think in so many different ways you can ask for a better system to give people the opportunity to do what they can do well and do what they really care about and are passionate about. There's just so many reasons, and they do it so well, so they can deliver, and so the kids really do get connected. There's no misconception here. They're active. They've got to be active. They're creating stuff as well as their own ability to envision what they will be able to create as they move on forward and go beyond this, as they grow and mature. So there's just so many things that are so good about it that I just couldn't miss it, and I'll be with these guys as long as they'll have me.
Thank you so much.